An Introduction to Artificial Intelligence by Mohammed Abdullah.
Brain with AI workflows. And finally, we'll get to the main event, the big leap to autonomous AI agents. And to make it all stick, we're going to use one single example, a customer service request, and see how it evolves at each stage.
All right, level 1, simple automation. Think of this as the bedrock, the foundation that everything else is built on. And honestly, you're probably already using this stuff all the time and don't even think about it.
At its heart, automation is just a system that does one single repetitive thing based on a really simple rule. If this happens, then do that. A trigger goes off and a pre-programmed action follows. That's it. It's not thinking, it's just following a very specific, rigid set of instructions.
So let's look at our customer service example. A customer goes to your website and fills out a form. Boom, that's the trigger. The system then looks at just one thing. Did they check the sales box or the support box? If it's sales, it goes down the sales path. If it's support, it goes down the support path. End of story. Simple, predictable, and honestly, super reliable.
But what happens when things get a little messy, right? What if a customer has a sales question, but they accidentally fill out the support form? Your basic automation just breaks. It can't handle that. And that's where we need to level up. It's time to add an AI brain to the system.
The best way to picture an AI workflow is like a smart assembly line. You're still the one who designs the whole process, the whole path, but you've added this one really smart station along the way. And at that station is an AI, a large language model that can actually read and understand the context of the information before it passes it along to the next step.
Okay, so back to our example. The customer fills out the wrong form again. But this time, instead of just checking a box, the system sends the entire message to our new AI brain. The AI reads it and it understands, oh wait, even though they use the support form, the content of this message is clearly a sales question. So it correctly recategorizes it and sends it to the right team. See the difference? The AI is a super smart tool here, but, and this is key, it's still following a path that you designed for it.
And that brings us to level 3. This, my friends, is where everything changes. This is the big leap. We're moving from an AI that just follows our instructions to one that starts calling its own shots.
And this quote says it all. This is the absolute heart of the matter. The big shift is when the AI stops being just a tool and starts making decisions about what to do next. You know, in a workflow, the AI is like your most talented employee on the assembly line. But with an agent, the AI is the factory manager. It's not just doing a task anymore, it's deciding which tasks even need to be done.
So simply put, an AI agent is a system where you give it a goal, not a set of steps. You tell it what you want, not how to do it. It then takes that goal, figures out a plan, decides which tools it needs to use, like a search engine or a database, and just gets it done, all on its own. It's built for those messy, complex, unpredictable tasks.
So, what can an agent actually do? Well, it really comes down to these 3 things. First, they reason. They actually think through a problem to figure out the best way to solve it. Second, they act. They don't just think, they take action by using different tools to get things done. And third, and this is so important, they iterate. They look at their own work, check if it's good enough, and if not, they try again until the goal is met.
Let's look at our customer service example one last time. Okay, so now the system gets the customer email and it just gives the agent a simple goal. Answer this query. That's it. The agent reads it and reasons, this is a question about pricing. I better get the latest information. So it acts by using a search tool to look it up. Then it iterates, checking its answer to make sure it's complete and accurate. And finally, when it's satisfied, it drafts a personalized email and sends it right to the customer, all without any human intervention.
So we've walked through all 3 levels, and as you can see, the real shift here is huge. It's the difference between using AI as a simple tool, like a hammer, and collaborating with it like a genuine teammate. Let's make sure that distinction is absolutely crystal clear.
If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. For automation and AI workflows, you are the manager. You are in control. You set the rules, you design the path, you call the shots. But with an AI agent, the roles flip. The AI becomes the manager of the task. You just give it the goal, and it figures out the rest.
Here's a super simple way to lock this all in your brain. Level 1, automation, is basically a vending machine. You push button C4, you get a candy bar. It just follows an exact rule. Level 2, an AI workflow, is like a smart assembly line. Yeah, there's an intelligent part, but it's stuck on a process that you control. And finally, level 3 in AI agent is like having a personal assistant. You just give it a high-level goal, like schedule my meetings for next week, and it manages the whole process for you.
Okay, so we get the what. We understand the different levels. The next logical question is, so what? How do I actually use this? Which of these levels do I actually need? Let's turn all this theory into a practical strategy you can use.
Here's a quick cheat sheet. Stick with simple level 1 automation when the rules are crystal clear and the steps are always the same. Level up to a level 2 workflow when you need the AI to actually understand some text or data, but the overall process still follows a straight line. And you only need to bring in a level 3 agent when the task is messy, unpredictable, and requires real reasoning to solve.
So how do you find the right tasks to automate in your own job? Well, start looking for these signals. Are you doing something that's super repetitive over and over again? Does your day involve a ton of copying and pasting between different apps? Are you constantly just looking at information and routing it to the right person? If the process is clear and the results are predictable, that's a perfect place to start.
Now, this is so important. You might be tempted to jump straight to the cool, shiny AI agents, but don't. The reality is, probably 80% of the stuff that bogs you down at work can be solved with simple automations and workflows. The smartest thing you can do is start simple. Get the foundation right, and only level up when you really, truly need to.
And this all leads us to a really smart philosophy for the next year or so. Workflow first, agent light. What does that mean? It means focus your energy on building really solid, reliable workflows. That's where you'll get the biggest bang for your buck. Use the powerful, autonomous agents more sparingly. Think of them as a scalpel, not a sledgehammer, for the right kinds of problems.
So here's your action plan. What do you do tomorrow? Step 1, pick one simple, repetitive process from your workday and map out every single step. Step 2, look for those automation signals we talked about. Step 3, decide which level you need. Is it a simple vending machine, a smart assembly line, or a personal assistant? And step 4, pick a tool and just start. Start small, start smart.
Which brings us to our final question, and it's the most important one. Now that you have this framework, I want you to really think about your own work. What is one repetitive, annoying, time-sucking task that you do every single day that you could start automating tomorrow?